I am super excited for today Ask Me Anything webinar and session. And today we got Brett, the amazing guy from YouTube. He's doing a lot of stuff. If you haven't followed him, you definitely should. And I kind of want to mention a few more things that if you are not familiar with Brett, I want you to kind of be familiar with. And this is, I haven't really invited anybody for any of those sessions ever. And the reason I kind of chose to invite him is because he always leads with value, but his value is not just, all right, let me just give you that SEO tip or whatnot. He's looking for the value that can actually help the people in need that are looking to get out of a bad financial situation in life, financial or bad situation with their agency. One of the things that it was several months ago. Like I had like a little ding. Like I was just eating lunch and I was watching some YouTube videos and I was watching one of his videos. And you know this, when you're watching like a video, you're not always all in the video, right? You kind of hear it in the background. You're not really focused. So as I was like eating, and then he started talking about like how you should act on the different situations. And he was like talking to somebody in a
How to get
scenario.
your business found on Google Maps.
Well, he wasn't talking about that. That was the video, but he was really talking, it's like, don't get into that situation of, like that depressed of like you can't get it done of your financial life. Don't let those things like holding you. And I felt really related to that part of the content that he brought in because he wasn't just slamming like SEO, contented me or whatever. He was really trying to help that person that was watching that video. And that was the day that, if you remember, like I sent you a message, it was several months ago, and we had a gap where we didn't talk for a while. And I was like, hold on, like, why am I not talking to him? Like, that's different. And there's a lot of guys in this industry that knows a lot of really good stuff about SEO, and it's great. But between you and I personally, a lot of times don't get value. And when I was talking to Brett, I got a lot of value. And it's not, again, it's not just the SEO, it's him as a person, as a persona, it's his demeanor, it's his thing and what his agenda. And what I really like is the agenda and everything around and what he's trying to be. And that's kind of why I invited him today to kind of help me with this session and help you guys with your questions about your SEO, about your agency growth, and all of those things. So today you get double down. So you get me and you get him.
I
So
appreciate the kind words, Eldar. I really appreciate the kind words. That means a lot to me. When I speak to somebody, I'm speaking to that guy. I'm speaking to me, really, before, when I was struggling. That's the person I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to me. And I know that there's a lot of me's out there that and that's the most dangerous person, Eldar. You know how dangerous you were when you had no money and you were watching thousands of videos. You were dangerous.
yeah,
Somebody with no money and is hungry like that, that's a dangerous person. That's somebody that's gonna soak up everything that you put down. So it's great to put down SEO knowledge, right? Because that's the thing they want. But I know, because I'm speaking to myself, that they get lost in SEO. They get lost in the computer. They get lost. They're forgetting about their family.
yeah,
Because I did.
absolutely.
I would sit in front of my computer for 18 hours, forget to go to the bathroom. I'm watching all kinds of crazy videos. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you're a very, very smart man. You're a beautiful family man. And it's an honor to be on your show. And I'm here to help anybody that I can.
Awesome. Thank you. So super exciting. All right, before we dive into some of your questions, I actually want to talk about something that happened to me yesterday that I think that everybody should tap into gradually over time. So yesterday, and tell me if you guys have been in that scenario, I posted on Facebook, just a regular post about this webinar. And little did I know, 10 minutes after, I get a notification from Facebook your post was flagged and removed because blah, 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 blah. I have actually the screenshot. I'll share this with you guys. And that brings me to the one thing that I told Brad, like right away. The one thing I said was like, you know, I don't remember the exact thing, but probably something angry. And then I was like, M for Meta or Mark is blocking me, blah, blah, blah. Good thing I have my list. And that brings me to, we always want to make sure that our eggs are not in the same basket. When we have all of our eggs in the same basket, our risk tolerance is very, very low. When you're spreading your things and you get traffic a little bit from Facebook, a little bit from Google, a little bit from your own email marketing, all of those things, then your risk goes down. So when they suspended that, I was like, I don't care. Like the reason I didn't care is because I knew I have an alternative that I was able to tap into. And that was the first thing I did. I was like, I'm going to blast this. Which I wasn't planning on, but because of that, I done so. And I've been listening to Russell Brunson, not much in the last year, but in the last several years. And you can see how much he emphasizes on the fact that you should build your own list. And I want you to all to tap into this. Bret, what's your take on that? You mentioned you have some take on, email.
I have a take on that. Yeah, I have a take on that. And it's the wrong take. You ever like glue yourself into something and you know it's wrong, but you're going to continue to do it anyway?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with email. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why.
The toxic ex-girlfriend.
No. I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. The reason why is because I sign up for a lot of ideas that I see an advertisement for, and I'll sign up for something, or I'll buy their intro $27 mini course or something like that, right? And I'm not ready to look at it right now. I'm just like, okay, listen, it was $27. I can't tell you how many mini courses I bought and never forgot that I bought them. I don't even know where they are, right? But I see something, excuse me, that's interesting, and I buy it, or I add my name to the list. And that day, I get 5 emails a day.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day I get 7. And then the next day I get 10. And the next day, and I get overwhelmed. And my thing is to always have a clear email box, is to have it down at least under 10 emails in my email box. But I have to look at everything. And it gives me more work. So once again, I'm always speaking to myself, and not everybody thinks like me, but I'm always speaking to myself. Do I want to bog somebody down with all these emails? They know where to find me. If they want to just go local SEO, Google Maps, whatever the situation is on YouTube, and I'll reach right back out to you. But for me to keep sending people emails, and I know it's wrong, because if I got removed from YouTube, it'd be an issue.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas for you,
you're so like, you're not collecting. You're not collecting emails.
I've never collected in 25 years. I've never collected an email.
Really? Interesting.
Not one.
Interesting.
I know it's wrong. Like, I expect half the people to say this guy's full of crap. I thought he was this. Listen, it's honest. I have never collected one email. I've never sent anybody an email ever.
Let's talk about this a little bit from an agency standpoint. Who here has a drip email campaign for their prospecting? So you have a prospect, is in your CRM. Do you guys have an outgoing email drip that you guys are plugging that person into? None? And by the way, everybody, you guys can speak up. This is kind of like a roundtable thing. We're hosting it, but everybody.
And you know what? Let me jump on that point a little bit. I don't want the guy that I have to send emails, that I have to send 5 emails to. I don't want that guy.
Okay.
I don't want that guy. I never want to talk anybody into my service. I create free videos to help. This is just my mindset, and I know it's wrong, but my mindset is I'm creating free videos for you. I give away 98% of what I know. The only 2% I don't give away is because somebody on Google may watch one of my videos, right? May. One in a trillion chance. But But I want somebody that says, that's my guy. If you click off my video and you just got some value off it, and then you're going to watch somebody else's video or do something else, if I got to send you reminders, then I wasn't your guy. And that's fine. I'm not for everybody.
But wait,
And
let
I'm
me
not your
ask you on
guy.
that token. So let me ask you on that token. What if you, so there are type of peoples out there. Some people like YouTube videos. Some people likes to read. For example,
Yeah.
I hate reading. I personally hate reading. I'm more of a
Right.
YouTube and listener kind of guy. But other people likes to read. So because we know some people are connecting to different content in different content form in a different way, I'm thinking that we need to take that YouTube and also make it in a form of an email for those people that
You're
want
right
it.
and I'm wrong.
So
You're
it's,
right.
it's not about right and
Yeah,
wrong.
no, you're
It's
right. I agree with you. Not everybody does what I do.
I know.
Agree. Nobody, uh, people do different things, and I respect that. Not everybody thinks like me, and I'm wrong for the way that I think.
No,
I know
I
it's
don't think you're
wrong.
wrong. No, I don't think you're wrong. I think you're right. Because you're doing what works for you. And that's probably the most important thing. Everybody needs to do what works for them. Like I was trying to diet and I had nutritions and fitness guy everybody in the plant that was trying to help me. Nothing was working until I found what's worked for me on my own. And I was
Right.
able to lose 25 pounds. And it was just the last 2 months.
Right.
So we need to figure out what works for us. But what I figured out is that what works for me is not necessarily what works for everybody else. And as I'm trying to scale to wide, I'm trying to tap into more things. And what I'm trying to do is to take one asset that I've created and duplicate it to the different channels. So for example, I have a video about location, URL location format that I like, which we definitely should talk about because people are asking me about this all the time. So we can talk about this in just a second. So the other day I was looking at that Loom video and I was like, hold on, why I don't have a blog post about this? Like, I just need to take the same exact YouTube video, which it's not a video, it was a Loom video, and it's just value, or it's just me sharing how I like to structure URLs. There's not trying to sell anything. You guys might have seen it on the Facebook group. There's just me how I structure my URLs. It's a 6 minutes video. 6 minutes, 13. Anyway. So I took it and I sent it to somebody from the team, and I was like, let's create a blog post. And later on, I'm going to send an email about it if somebody want to read because they don't want the video. So just something that I'm tapping more into, recently and lately. Let's talk about location URL.
Hold on one second. Let me say on that point. So,
yeah.
Right. So you decide, for example, to do this blog post, right? And you put all the effort into this blog post, and we've all done it. It's important on Monday. It's important on Wednesday. It's important on Friday. And next Monday, it's not important. And then you look back 4 months and you only did one blog post and you didn't keep up with it. So what's better, to do the thing that you're really good at and the thing that you enjoy and just focus on getting better at that? Because you only have one brain and there's only 24 hours
Right.
in the day. Or is it to spread yourself thin and I'm not trying to steer you in your choice, but is it to do everything? Because everything's a skill set.
Right.
Getting found on YouTube is different than getting found on Facebook and getting found on Twitter and all those other platforms. And the content that you have to put on those different platforms is different as well. So I unless I'm going to be good at it or I understand the concept of it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I don't do it either.
Yeah. I just
What
do
I
what I think I'm good at.
Well, what I did, I have somebody from my team that is better. I'm good at creating that quick Loom video or YouTube or whatever it is. I'm not good at creating that blog post.
Right.
But somebody else in my team is. And that's bringing us to leverage and bringing us to another conversation on how we can expand on the things that we're looking to do with the help of other people. And I'll share other stuff. Like I have no problem. You all know Local Dominator. I personally think that I brought Local Dominator to a point that I need help. And in the last 45 days, I've hired a CTO and a CPO. huge positions. Like I'm building the C-level now because now it's bigger than me. It's something that requires more than my current knowledge. I can do marketing. I'm always going to do the marketing. That's the one thing that I do, that marketing. But other stuff, I'm going to outsource this. I'm not necessarily outsource. My thing was, since I was a kid, to find people that do the things that I need to do better than me to do that on my behalf. And
By
that's
no means, yeah, but by no, I don't mean to interrupt you, but by no means did I mean that I have to do it. I did give it to one of my team members who I hired specifically for social media. And she did the best that she could. And one day I turned on my Instagram and somebody was doing a tumble salt, wearing a Mindsaw face and saying, it's easy as sitting on a couch or something like that. And I was like, shut down all these campaigns. Shut it down. Shut it down. I don't want that. That's not what I represent. However, it's me, and I have to do videos for Instagram and Instagram Reels and all that. I have to do the videos. I can't say take junk content and just put Mindsaw over it. You know what I mean? So like, I have to put that effort in. And if I'm not going to put the effort in, then how do I give her bad content to make great? So it wasn't her fault. It was mine. But I can make the best content that I possibly could make on YouTube. And by no means am I breaking the internet, or nor do I think that my content is great. I provide value to that hungry person sitting in a computer, you know, in their basement, who really wants to make it. That's the person I'm talking to.
no,
I don't know how to talk to that person on Instagram.
me neither.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
For some reason, my Instagram is like sad.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some stuff in the chat here. I'm actually going to move you guys to the big screen real quick. We can take some questions. There's a mess around email drip campaigns. Joseph, if you want to speak up what you wrote, it's all good. And Chris as well. Engine for agency right now, but it's lead warming sequence. So it's about the emails. Yeah, so with emails, by the way, what I found is just a lot of value, like give value, and then on your 10th email, like do a little ask. Oh, Ortal just joined, and she have a good question about location URL, so she'll ask this in just a sec. Mike, what's going on? Talk to me.
All right. Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. So I wanted to ask about the local SEO maps, just optimizing. So I know that we have the Q&As, geotag images, and what else? You know, I guess backlinks and all these other things that we can do for the GMB. But I was wondering, when we have our main city, that is like the main hub of the entire circle that we're trying to, you know, take to the first spot, you know, make the green stars all over the place. When there's the little micro cities that are around it, is that what we're actually using your prompts for Q&As and geotag images? Are we using those little micro cities to constantly post on our GMB? And that's kind of what...
Sorry, I was trying to read some stuff, so let me just make sure I got it. Are you talking within local dominator, the little bot icon?
Not the bot icon, just like optimizing. You know how when you actually see your rankings of, like, maybe you're in the plus 20 spot, but then you want to take it to the green, right? Where you're in the top 3. I was just wondering, like, the process that you work through, and if I'm just want to make sure that my process is consistent.
Can I answer this, Eldar?
All yours.
Yeah. So Mike, what I think, can I talk to you like I know you for 20 years?
Go for it.
All right. So in my opinion, you're wasting your time on the small things, geotagging images, doing Google posts, right? You probably have 20 other things that you also do. Let me tell you the 3 things that work. And if you just do these 3 things, it's going to work. The first thing you need to do is run a grid on your competition. See how far your competition ranks out, because Google geofences. Do you understand what I mean?
Does that mean that it caps out, I guess?
Yeah, because like, we can't be carpet cleaning from New York to California. There has to be a spot somewhere where Google says, give somebody else a chance. So the only way to see how we could give somebody else a chance is by running on some geo grids on some competitions, on your competition. Once we know that, and we see our square, or in Eldar's case, our circle of where, Google is letting us rank, we need to do three things. We need to create a page for that city. We need to go into the Google business profile, and we need to populate as many times as appropriate in Google business profile that we do business in ABC city. And then the third and most important thing is you need to have somebody standing on that red dot, leaving a review saying that they do that they had their carpet cleaned in that area. Now, once you do those three things, you have content on your website, you optimized your GMB, and you got, several reviews, people saying carpet cleaning just on that red dot. Now, if you want to do Google posts, you want to optimize your images, you want to do stuff like that, that's like adding the pepperoni to the pizza at the end. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing are those three things. Does that make sense?
I'm gonna weigh in on reviews, by the way, because I know there's a lot of going on with reviews right now. Some say they're back, whatnot. Here is my 2 cents on that. If you get real reviews, they stick real nice. If you get real reviews, they stick real nice.
Right.
So let me refine this a little bit. You can get a real review in a lot of real ways. For example, any interaction that a person has with your business, that individual have the right to post a review on your business. They do not have to conduct a transaction with that business. Meaning, if that person have looked at your website or something that was related to him, he was engaging with that business, he is entitled to post a review. He can look at your web, or not yours, but some website, and he can say, this website is, I don't know, something that hurts him, whatnot. He can do that because the business is public. If he calls and the person on the phone was nice, he can post a positive review. Where I'm going with this is that reviews are a challenge, but they're not a challenge if you understand what you need to do to get the reviews, all right? If you get it from real people, real accounts, you'll have a lot of freaking reviews real fast. You just need to make sure that these are real people with real accounts, and you need to be creative on how you can engage them with your business. And there's nothing wrong about that. This is what we do in these days. And of course, we have review management, notifications that go out for clients and such. But don't think that buying reviews and stuff like that, where you pay a couple of dollars for somebody, is going to save your business. It's much better to get one really good review from a real person versus 20 that you'll get in a way that you should not got to begin with. So that's kind of like a little bit of, my take on.
So I agree 1,000% with you. So Arian asks, what do you mean by red dot for reviews? And I'm talking about running grids. And when you run a grid, the grids will show, if, Joseph put it in the chat there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when it's red, so when you have a red dot on your map, you kind of want to do everything you can from that area into that area. So as you mentioned, you want to create a location page. You want to get a review from that area. You want to have a photo from that area. Whatever you can do, maybe a link from another business in that area. Any signal, real signal that you can give Google will sky your ranking way better than any other thing.
Right.
And I don't know if you know, but I did a lot of CTR back in 2018, like with phones. I was among the first people that came up with that.
What a waste of time.
It was what?
Oh, what a waste of time, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
No,
No, wait.
no.
When it,
Back
when it,
then,
wait, back in 2018, 2019, it
it
worked.
was gold.
Right, it worked. It worked because
Gold.
I bought something that, yeah, but it wore off, and that doesn't work anymore. Well, I don't know how to do it
No.
anymore. How's that? I don't know how to do it. Maybe there's
So
somebody that knows how to do it.
I don't do CTR in these days, but back
Right.
then I used to have like bunch of phones, and
Yeah.
I even had my
Yeah.
dad drive me around different places.
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
I would open up my
Holly-
phone and I would click
Holly
and I would see
Starks.
myself.
Yeah.
She asked me when she started.
Yeah.
Anyway, so CTR, if we want to talk a little bit about CTR, if some people have some questions, I personally don't do CTR.
Neither do I.
The CTRs that I have tested so far, I cannot come up with a positive case study, and I've done quite a
Nope.
few. If I will, then I will change my
Because
opinion.
nobody's able to do CTR, not that I know of. So when I say nobody, I just mean that through my research, nobody's able to do CTR where it shows that the person is standing in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah. So
So then what good
I
is it for
personally,
local?
yeah, the rankings that we get, you don't really need CTR for that. So it's all good. Don't stress about it. And I do want to add another thing. All of the glitter that you see, remember, it's glitter. So if
Right.
somebody screams something, it doesn't mean it's true.
Well, let me
Test it.
jump on that point, Eldar, is that everybody thinks that, this guy does a 1 hour webinar and he's cracked Google with his little fruity tooty fresh and fruity form where you just fill in your domain name, 5 keywords and your location, you press go, and in 7 hours you're going to rank. It's a very primal, very easy thing to understand. Put in name, put in domain name, put in keywords, put in location, press start, and watch the magic, happen. I bought thousands of those things and they never, ever worked. But some may work for a very short time. And that was my experience with CTR back in right around COVID. I bought something like that and it worked for about 6 months and it stopped working. But I kept it up for about another year. Your campaign has to be 98% white hat. I believe in tricks. I love tricks. I love breaking it and work. But 98% of your campaign has to be real work.
Exactly. Otherwise,
Right?
it will hit you in the butt. It will come and bite you. It'll come and bite you.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I
So let me
I
say
don't
it
crash.
like this. So I had a friend that only did tricks. Didn't work on the website.
How long did he survive?
I don't know.
Probably not that
I'm
long.
going to keep it very vague. I'm going to keep it vague. He only did tricks. Did not touch the website. Did not do the GMB. Only provided bought reviews. But was ranking. So it was like he's saying to me, "Hey man, I'm ranking just as good as you, and you're doing all this work." The problem is that when Google did an update, he lost literally everything, and I lost almost nothing. I'm not saying that I didn't get affected. There's nothing worse than an SEO. Well, I never get affected by Google. We all get affected, but if that, then you're not tracking it. And we all get affected, right? So, you got to keep it white hat as much as possible.
I agree.
As much as possible.
I agree.
Don't invest your time in tricks.
It doesn't worth it. It's a short lifespan. I mean,
It's a very short lifespan.
We want to get longevity. The thing is with SEO, let me mention a couple other stuff here. And then Mike, we got you. SEO is a longevity game. Now let's think about a business owner perspective as an agency. And I really want you guys to understand that this might not be really acceptable for everybody here, but I'm going to say it. You do not have the best interest to get your clients' rankings overnight. You want to build your rankings for your clients over time. There are 2 main reasons. When you give your clients rankings overnight, there are 2 things that happen in that moment. 1, he might not need you tomorrow. And B, you might kill him tomorrow because you did something bad. You changed his name in the Google My Business. You did a black hat SEO. So either or, you're not really benefiting yourself and him because it's a very short run. Your client have a long vision. If they're a plumber, electrician, if you get them a higher ranking, here's what happened on their end. They need to hire more. They need to get more trucks. Their overhead cost goes up. Yeah, they're
I've lost clients for getting them too much business. I have.
Exactly.
I've lost clients.
I know, me too. And
Yeah.
today, even if I have that one trick that moves the needle right away, I never would ever use it out of the gate. It
No.
has to grow,
Yeah.
month over month,
Yeah.
and not exponential. It's really important to understand. Mike, what do you got? Talk to us.
Yeah, I was wanting to improve on my sales. So I know the last time that I jumped on this call, I remember the subject of needing to dazzle the customer, like in a demo call, let's say.
Okay.
And I feel like I do, where I'm over, just describing everything that we'd be doing, but I'm wondering now, is it possible that I'm engulfing them too much in the how?
Yes.
Bogs them down, it weighs them down to where the sale doesn't come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. Mike, are you married?
Yeah.
Okay. So you met, I'm just going to say, I'm going to make up a scenario. You met a girl in a bar, not your wife. You met a girl in a bar and you walked over to her and you just started talking about how great you are. This is what I do. I'm a plumber. I have 5 trucks. I have 10 people that work for me. See my watch. I mean, how long is the girl going to sit there and listen to you?
I like
So
that.
why would a client do that? Why would a prospective client listen to you talk about yourself? So I have a 3-way, I have a sales approach, and I will never ever sell anybody on the first meeting. I don't care if you're trying to give me the credit card over the phone, I won't take it. My first meeting is a 5 to 10 minute triage call. What do I do there? I'm trying to find out if you're a wackadoo, if you want the next Facebook, and I'll do all the work and you'll promote it, and then we're going to split the profits. I immediately hang up on those people, right? I want somebody who's like, hey, I had a plumbing company for 5 years. We were ranking. Now we're not ranking. Okay, now I'll take them into a discovery meeting. In my discovery meeting, I ask them questions about them. I never tell them what I do because they've watched my videos. In fact, I get insulted when somebody says, well, what do you do? If you watch me on YouTube and you still don't know what I do, I don't know why you called me. And I'll say that. So I ask questions. I ask about 20 questions, and I really dig in. I find out who the competition is, how many reviews they have. Did they ever work with SEOs? If somebody tells me if they've worked with 5 SEOs, I tell them, would you hire somebody? Would you fire yourself? If you hired and fired 5 SEOs, you're not good at hiring SEOs. You're not good at that. If you fired 5 SEOs, you're not good at hiring them. So why are you talking to me? Besides entertainment, I don't work with people who hired 5 SEOs. They don't know what they're doing, right? Then once I have the discovery meeting, I take 2 or 3 days and I provide solutions. So basically I say, Eldar, these are the questions that we spoke about. This is the area you're trying to rank. This is your competition. Let me show you on this PDF, very simple, with 8 boxes on it. And I click each box. These are your keywords. These are your geofences. This is your, and you know what? Sometimes it gets to a point where I say, Eldar, I'm sorry, I can't work for you. You're going against competition. It has 1,000 reviews. How could I get you ranked with 50 reviews? And even if I do, who's going to call you with 50 reviews and your competition has 1,000? You're a DUI lawyer. Would you pick somebody who had 50 reviews or 1,000 reviews? Right? So why am I going to take your money? Because I don't want this guy calling me Christmas Eve dinner. As soon as my sister's about to put the lasagna on the table, this guy calls and tells me how he's not getting calls. And I got to talk to him for an hour. Right? So I don't take any clients that I can't help. And if you're selling on the first call, you're doing a disservice to the client, not only to the client, to yourself. And that's how you get crazy clients. First call is the triage, right? You want to make sure that you're working with somebody that's normal and has realistic expectations. Your second one is your discovery call, where you're asking them questions and you're setting up expectations. Your third is your solutions call. Eldar, this is everything you told me. This is where we're at. You're going to see your whole picture on Google on this one PDF. I can help you or I can help you. How long? Based on your grids, that's why I say grids are the most important thing you could do, is based on your grids, you tell me you're completely red. You have 2 reviews. You're going against competition with 100 reviews. You tell me, how long do you think it's going to take me to rank you? And but somebody go, I don't know, maybe about 4 months. Yeah, that sounds right. You'll start breaking in after about, after about 2 months, you'll start breaking in and you'll start doing real good after 4 months. That makes somebody goes 30 days. I say, it was very nice talking to you. Right. It's unrealistic expectations. It's unrealistic expectations. So you have to break those meetings into 3 to 4 meetings and never take a client's credit card when they're ready to give it to you. You always got to make that, you never put yourself behind the 8 ball. You always have to be the leader in the conversation. That's why you ask the questions and they answer the questions. They don't ask you questions. You ask them questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
being the one in charge for the process is super important. Let's talk a little bit about sales, and then we'll go to Danielle and then Joseph. And I'm actually going to make a little surprise here. Mr. Panda, weigh in on your sales approach that you have taken in the last few months.
Well, learned a lot from you.
Thank you. But what's your take? Appreciate it though.
Well, I've got to align with Bret on that. My first conversation is not about sales. I try to understand who the client is, what I'm up against, and much like he believes in, I don't want a client that I don't firmly believe that I could help. Once I'm confident in that, as simple as my apologies, as simple as it sounds, my closer is local dominator. It's showing them their money keywords and where they are at the moment, if it's a lucrative strategy for them. And again, I'm brutal about it. If I have a look at a client and they say to me, oh, I need SEO and I'm a nail salon. And the keyword nail spa, manicure near me, pedicure near me, all those, the real money keywords already in the green. What are you wanting me to optimize any further? Because people from 3-5 miles further than that are not coming to you. So I tell them outright, I'm not your guy. If you want, go look for somebody who does ads.
Hey, Lior, let me ask you a question. Your name is Lior? Lior?
Correct.
And I don't mean this disrespectful. Why would you even speak with a nail salon? Why would you even take that call?
So I've got 2 clients who've got, one has respectively 7 salons and the other one has got 9. So that to me was,
I take that one.
I would take that call. If it's a one,
right.
If it's a single shop, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I'm corrected.
Somehow along the line, I have aligned myself with franchises. The majority of my clients are franchises, which is beautiful because one phone call, I get multiple GMBs. But at the end of the day, my closer is, how can I help you? Is it with what I'm doing, white hat strategy beginning to end? Can we get you to the end goal? Make them abundantly clear that it is not going to be a 3-month turnaround time. Sometimes you're going to get a keyword that moves, and most times you're not. But to get back to Eldar's answer is that my closer has been local dominator. Visual sells to me. If a client can see that they're not doing great, that's kind of implants the idea that I want to get better.
Lior, so I always think like the client, right? The last thing I want to do is give you $3, $6, $9, $12,000 and be promised nothing, right? So like I'm trying to buy something and then the person on the other end is telling me, their expectations are for me basically to have nothing. And I just said that in my answer myself. So we all do that. However, I left out part B. Part B is if I have to, I do two things. If I have to, I'll take $1,000 out of my pocket and run a pay-per-click campaign. I want them to have value within the first 3 days. You ever buy a pair of Jordans and walk out of the store and say, I just spent $400? You're like, man, I was so happy when I walked in, but then I bought them and I walked out and I'm like, oh man, that was a lot of money. Why did I do that? Right? So your clients have the same thing. It's called buyer's remorse. They'll give you the money, but then they get nervous that they just signed up for something that was a lot of money, even if they have a lot of money. So what I try to do is I try to set them up with a landing page and a pay-per-click right away. Right away, so they can get that value in 3 days. Hey, in 3 days, they got a roofing job. How's that? You think that client's going to stay with me for 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year, or are they going to cancel after a month?
Yeah. You know, who used to do that a lot? This is how they grew? Web.com.
Oh.
Web.com, I think who bought them? It was crazy company. Anyway, used to be their thing. They used to do SEO with AdWords all the time, and they combine it. And then once the SEO kicks in, they used to remove the AdWords completely.
Right.
That's a good thing.
I'm sure I didn't make this up.
No, it's just challenging right now with a lot of industries to run some of those campaigns. All right, let's take some questions. Donell, talk to us.
Yeah. So
hold on. Where's your T-shirt?
It's actually my other house. I didn't get it yet, but I do have the cup in the kitchen. I can grab it in a sec. You just hold it by the camera for the next 20 minutes. Appreciate that, by the way. So yeah, I was actually had a question about the drip campaign you were talking at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So maybe just one quick question for the Black Panda, because that was really cool what he was saying about booking the franchise companies. And I was wondering, okay, is there any tips and tricks to find the decision maker there, or is it referrals, or how are you getting in front of these guys to make that one close that you get 8 or 9 businesses all at once?
I wish I could tell you what the answer is for that. Over the years, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got a good couple of clients who are standalone brick and mortar shops. I have never actively gone out and looked for franchises. They've just come to me, and it could very well be referrals. Eldar knows that just 2 months ago, I got a referral from a family friend of mine for a collision center. I did his single collision center for 3-4 weeks. He says, cool, I like your dashboard, I like how you do things. Can we jump on a meeting? And on that meeting was a full board meeting, and as if I'm presenting to the presidency, only to close that meeting with them all too willing to hand over 31 accounts, which completely threw me off. I mean, I speak to Eldar. I looked for additional help because that's out of my capabilities. I wouldn't be doing myself any justice, nor them, to take that on without having a decent solution in place. Right. But to answer your question, I don't have an answer. I have never actively gone out to look for franchises.
Yeah, it seems like you just do good work and it comes back at you. That's cool.
Comment.
Well, he did. So it's not true though. You did roll into that. So I kind of want to take you guys back and support your answer for a second. Lior have invested a lot into his brand, into his brand and into his marketing and all the things that I'm talking about. You guys have seen me with a lot for a couple of years now with those things, right? Brand yourself, invest in yourself, get the things that will make you look like your avatar would want to make a transaction with you. And then you want to tap into the referrals, but very, very aggressively. The thing is, referrals needs to be demanded, all right? Referrals needs to be demanded. Nobody, even your mama, is going to give you a referral because she thought about you. It's crazy, I know, but that's just the way it is. The only person that is going to give you a referral is a person that have some kind of an interest. They have some kind of intent of giving you that. If they don't know that it's for their best interest to give you that referral, you're not going to get it. And what is the best thing that you can do for that person? Not giving them money. The best thing that you can do for the people that refer you to other people, is to be there for them and to help them with their business in the extra mile. They don't care for $200. They don't care for a month free. They care for you to do the extra, to pick up the call when they need you, when their business is down, when something is going on. They know they can freaking count on you. When you relay this message to your clients, they will refer more people that you'll be able to handle. I kid you not. I have a couple of guys that I literally told them that I need them to stop referral people because I don't take clients right now. And they're like, oh, I'm giving you all those people, like, and they don't want money. That's the thing. They want to help me as a person because they know that I'm going to help. And these are the things that you're also tapped into. When you're really tapping into those, you're going to get to those really nice clients. It's just the way it is. And my biggest clients, I have a few companies that, like, few high-tech company, like startup companies that we did a lot of work for. And some of them got sold and stuff. This was just from referrals. Those really, really hard tables that you want to sit next to or in the table, it's not going to be from ads. These will be from your network. And it's one person that gets you to another person that opens another door. And then boom, you're a freaking unicorn client. So just work on that.
So Eldar, let me ask you a question. When you're selling an SEO job, do you break it down? Because, okay, let me say it like this. So the past couple of clients I've interviewed, I've asked them, have they ever hired an SEO before? And most have said yes. And when I asked them what type of SEO did they purchase, not one person could answer what they purchased. They did not know what they bought. And there's pay-per-click, there's Google Maps, and there's organic, right?
Okay. So yeah.
So my question to you is, when you sell an SEO job, do you specifically say what type of SEO you're selling?
Good. So I actually want to break this thing to two things. One thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he presented the question to me, did you guys notice how did he presented the prospect? What did he say? He said, when I interviewed so-and-so and so-and-so, whose hand is on the top?
Mine.
His.
Yeah, of course.
That's the first thing when we're going into a sale that we have to understand. So first thing, you have to have your hands on top. And it's starting with your logic and your philosophy and everything, and appreciating yourself. So that's one thing. The second thing is, what is it that they buy? This is something that I figured out several years ago. When somebody purchases an SEO, it's very vague, right? I'm buying an SEO. Well, what do I get? What is SEO? So when they purchase from me, they know roughly what is it that they're going to get. And we break it down with the things that we're going to do for them throughout the month. When we deliver the report at the end of the month, we go through the work that we have done throughout the month. So for example, we show them, we have created this blog post. We have inquired these backlinks. We have done those posts on Google.
Oh man, I could, this could be a whole show. I don't think people, Eldar, I don't think people care about that. I don't think the plumber cares about that.
No, but wait.
What does the care? Wait, hold on. What does the plumber care about?
They care for one thing, which is phone calls. However, here is the two things that we are being measured about. We are measured by two things. We're being measured by our performance and our efforts. At some part, sorry?
Who put efforts into the equation? Did you put that into the equation?
No, these are my analysis. This is my analysis when I
correct. So you're right. So I've done this in the past with a lot of things. My clients, when you realize it, clients don't care about that.
So wait, it's not true, at least from my perspective. So let me tell you, where does it meet me? Let's say I have a client. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you about a real client. I have one client that we are struggling for about 1.5 years. They didn't cancel for one reason. They see the effort and they understand that we do the things that needs to be done, and we're going to get them to the goal. If your client is on that period where they're waiting for the result that they care for, which is the phone calls, that time they can only value you on what they see your effort is to get to the goal. Because
Nope.
as we mentioned, no,
No,
then
no,
what
and I'll tell you
value?
why.
Tell
And
me.
you know I love you. It's all about setting up. It's all about setting up expectations.
Okay.
And when you set expectations in the sales meeting or in the interview, when you set up expectations, you don't have to explain yourself. These are the expectations. Now, if you want to have a separate meeting where you call me up and say, hey, Bret, you know, we said 4 months and it's been 3 months. I see some progress, but I don't see a lot. Can you show me what you're doing? Well, that's a separate meeting. But very few people will do that. When you set expectations up, just like in a relationship, I'm going to do this and I need you to do that. Because at the end, we're going to do this together, right? You don't have to show proof of everything that you're doing.
No, you don't have to. No, we don't show everything, but we show the effort. That video that we do is usually 5 to 10 minutes. We don't go really into like every little pixel. But one of the things that we realize is that when we show the efforts, it really helps us with the retention. Now, if you think
set
about
up
that girl,
expectations, if you set up
yes,
expectations
absolutely.
better,
But
if you
they
set up
always-
expectations, if you,
I don't think so. Because let's say you're dating this girl. Well, wait, let's take this. You're dating this girl. She's expecting you to take her to dinner that is really expensive. All right.
who
But
set
you
those
can't-
expectations? You or her?
Let's say you did it together. You talked and
Okay,
said
then
it
you take
on
it
the-
too
on the
expensive. Then you
Sylvester.
take it to Peter Luger's. So what's the big deal?
Let's say you want to. You wanted to, you said on your birthday, I'm going to take you
Then
to
I'll tell her
Peter Luger's.
no. But if you set it, if you're setting
you tried-
expectations, I'm sorry.
But if you tried, you did what
What do you mean try?
But you
What do you mean you
also
can't?
didn't either. What do you mean you can't?
Because what do you mean you can't? If I say I'm taking you to
try.
Peter Luger's, you're going to Peter Luger's.
But what if you didn't? But if you can't? What if you can't take her to Peter Luger?
Why? Why can't I?
Because you don't have the money.
Then I wouldn't say I could do it. I don't lie.
But things happens in life, right? You
Not with
have
me.
you have a Google update. Their website got suspended. Their competitor moved their pin. Their competitor suspended their website. They had a DDoS attack. There are a lot of things.
Great.
It-
Eldar, this is what happened. Your competitor moved your pin. I didn't notice it for a month. So I have to try to make this right. But this is what happened. I'm going to be straight honest with them and let them
Yeah.
know exactly what happened. But
No, you-
I'm going to set expectations. If everything goes right, this is where we should be. Right?
you don't
Now, if
think-
something unexpected happens, I'm going to have to let them know that.
So let me ask you, you don't think that they are also value you by your efforts
Nope.
at zero?
No, people don't care how many times you swung. They only care how many home runs you hit. They don't care. Nobody knows Babe Ruth struck out 3,000 times. They know he hit 714 home runs.
Right, but he did the effort to make those 3,000.
Yeah, but nobody talks about how many times he struck out. They don't care.
That's true.
He's not the all-time strikeout leader. He's the all-time home run. He was the all-time home run leader, right up until Hank Aaron. But that's what people care about. People care about the home runs. And I don't mean, I'm
agree.
speaking with you. I'm speaking with you.
No.
I'm not trying to sun you. I'm not trying to, make you look like, you don't know what you're doing. I'm the king of all that. But I'm passionate about the things that I believe in, right? And I could be wrong. But I do know that we set expectations for ourselves that our clients don't. And we go through this whole big thing and our client doesn't even care about that. I'm only saying it because I've been down that road 100 times already. Our clients don't care. You're either ranking them or you're not. They don't care how you're, who cares? You know who cares?
Who?
The frustrated guy who doesn't have time to do it. And they hired you because they don't really have time to do it. Somebody tells me, hey, Bret, I don't have time to really do this. I want you to do it. I don't take that person. That's the person who cares about the backlinks and cares about how many blog posts. And they're going to examine your blog post and ask you why you did the blog post this way. Because they know more than you. They just don't have the time to do it. I don't take those people.
Well, that's good.
I take the plumber. I take the DUI lawyer. It's like, oh man, I got to learn how to do this. And they get overwhelmed and they're like, I've been watching this guy's videos. Maybe he could help me. They don't know what blog posts are or backlinks are. I don't take geeks.
I don't think we don't really explain, but I think there's a lot of ways to handle different things in different situation. And I do think still that some are measuring that. And again, there's a lot of ways to roam. These are things that I found that works for me.
Yes. We're just
but-
expressing our expressing our views. And some people get value out of it. And some people aren't at that point yet where this conversation is relevant.
True.
It's
true.
going to be relevant. One day they're, in 5 years, they're going to look back at this conversation. They're going to remember, oh shit, I remember when I went to that webinar and this guy said that. That's what he meant. But there's people here right now that it's not relevant right now. So what did Rock say? He said something, if you don't tell people what you're doing, people watch my YouTube channel.
Yes,
People watch my YouTube channel. If you don't know what I'm doing, if you don't know what I do, if you watch 5 of my videos and you don't know what I do and you call me up, it's going to be a very short conversation.
Hey guys, can I go in?
I'm sorry?
Can I ask the question here? Because I
No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, ask, and then we'll have Joseph.
What I just meant in my question is that not what you're doing. Like I'm saying about general agency owners. So for example, I don't do videos on YouTube. When I talk to potential clients and I want to tell them what we're doing with them, build the expectations.
Stop right there, Rock. Stop right there. And remember what you're going to say. How do you get your clients? Do they come to you? You go to them?
Both. I have sales team and I have organic traffic coming in.
Okay. So the organic traffic coming in, you shouldn't have to say what you do.
No, it's not what I do I mean, the intro call and the sale happen and all these kind of stuff. I'm not telling them that, listen, I'm going to do 50 citations and going into these like big details. But what I'm talking about is keeping those clients. When
Show them Eldar's grids. You're either green or you're not. Show them Eldar's grids. Just show them Eldar's grids. If you're not ranking them, you should fire them. You should say, look, I can't do the job any further than this. I don't know what's going on in your industry. You're a roofing client with five reviews. I can't rank you. But you should know that if what that's telling me is that you're not interviewing them enough during the sales process. You're probably selling on the first sale. Is that right? Do you sell?
No, not really. So here's
not really. When you ever sell on the first sale?
No. I never sell. I have a three kind of step sale that we do. First call is literally, what's your name? What do you do? All these kind of stuff. What's your hobbies? I don't talk anything about business on the first call. I want to understand what kind of client.
I hate that. I don't like that. Rock, listen, I say everything tongue in cheek. So please don't take me. But I'm not here to talk about my hobbies and what my name is, right? I'm here to talk about business. So I want you to ask me relevant questions and not waste my time in regards to business. Rock, what are you trying to do in your business? I see you have a plumbing company. I was looking at your rankings. I see you down there. What are you trying to do? Because I'm noticing Master Plumber. I don't know why I'm thinking plumbers today. I'm noticing Master Plumber is really killing it in your town. And then let them talk, because they're going to talk for a half hour.
No,
that's a nice approach, by the way. That's a really cool approach. Bring in the competitor and like let them talk about their competitors. That's really, actually, I'm going to use this.
Yeah, everybody should use it. And I didn't mean that. Listen, I didn't mean that asking people with their hobbies. It's a casual question. It's great. But I hate when salespeople speak with me and ask me how my day's going. So how's your day going?
Brett, I was just giving an example of the first.
All right, go ahead.
I don't ask anyone about their hobby.
All right, go ahead, Rock. I'm
just
sorry.
giving an example. The first call is usually getting to know the client, because a lot of clients from bad experience, we don't want to work with them. Plain and simple. Usually we deal with healthcare clients. So for my business, we deal with urgent cares, dental. So we deal with doctors. And with doctors, it's either a good doctor or a bad doctor. There's nothing in the middle. So what I'm asking is that, like, especially in let's take, for example, the urgent care. It's a very competitive market. Those keywords are very, very, very hard, like urgent care near me or very specific type of keywords. A lot of months, it might take 2-3 months to start showing them on the map, to start putting them on the map for very specific services that they are offering. So this is usually when we send in our report, and in our report, the first thing literally is the grid. That's the biggest chunk of the report. It's the grid, explaining the grid, all these kind of stuff, showing them their competition. But also we try to kind of focus on like, all right, how many blogs did we do? How many all kind of stuff?
Why?
Just to kind of
what?
Put the effort in the like what we put.
They don't care. Effort. You're either green or you're red. They don't
so
care.
If it's red, what do you think?
I think it's fine. It's fine to send the red grid. If you set up expectations correctly, these are my expectations. I think based on these grids, we should start to have movement in 90 days, in 30 days, right? In 4 months. We should set up, it's okay. But when you send a red grid in 6 and 7 months, then you better start talking about, having a different conversation because this isn't working, right? So the only thing that clients care about is the service that they paid you for. They paid you to green out that grid so that they could be found. Now, some people may say, and take it a little bit further, anybody watching this video should buy the book 7-Figure Agency by Josh Nelson. It changed my life. I'm not part of 7-Figure Agency. I dropped out of it because I didn't like something they were doing, but that book changed my life. And it talked about what clients expect and setting up expectations and how to run an agency. It's a fantastic. That's why I'm talking so confident, like I know what I'm talking about, because not only was I in your situation, but then I read the book and I applied these things and they work. But it's setting up expectations, Rock. It's setting up expectations. It's okay to send red grids. You're being honest. But if you can't get those grids to move, you got to fire yourself. You have to. You have to provide free service. You have to do something to make up for missing the expectation.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Challenge.
Yep.
What do you mean it's a challenge?
It's when you get to that point where you kind of hit a roadblock and you're in this place where you're looking for solutions, right? Or offer free. That's a challenge moment.
That's when you become an SEO. Think about this.
That's why we do SEO.
That's when you become an SEO. When the doctor has been doing appendix operations for 30 years and all of a sudden gets a kid whose appendix is burst and it happened 10 days ago, and the kid's a 7-year-old kid and the parents outside screaming, crying, and you hear them crying and you got this kid laying on the emergency, and now you got to fix him. Now it's your job to fix him, and you only got 15 minutes because the kid's going to die. And when you save that kid, that's when you become a doctor. You weren't a doctor for 20 years because you were doing routine appendix. You became a doctor that day. That was your bar mitzvah.
That is true.
You became a doctor when you saved that kid.
That is
you became a police officer when you freed those hostages. I don't care if you were on the job for 20 years. And you became an SEO when you did the impossible, where you got somebody ranked and you solved that problem. That's when you become an SEO. So when you say it's a challenge, we have to accept the challenge or get out.
Oh yeah, the whole part of being an SEO is handling and experiencing challenges that you have to overcome, and that's part of the fun. We do have maybe 5 more minutes. I want to kind of tap into a few more questions. Josh, I see your hands is up for a while. Talk to us.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so I'll make this quick, right? So I got a dentist client in Calgary, so we got their services ranking on the front page organically, right? Which is cool, but their map packs aren't doing so great. They're solid in the map packs for the small neighborhood, but Calgary's pretty big, right? So I'm wondering, how can I optimize their map rankings without jeopardizing their organic rankings, or do we just have too much of a high expectations?
Get more reviews, run some grids, and see where your clients, where their competition, their geofences are. Run the top 3, see where Google is cutting off, and everybody's red in the west section. And get more reviews using the keyword dental service in where they could rank, and make sure you have your pages optimized.
Gotcha. Okay, appreciate it, man.
Anytime, brother.
I would tap a lot into the page optimization for sure. With the reviews.
Can I chip in here?
No.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, actually, I'm a dentist and
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got 1900 plus reviews, 4.9 star rating, and we're still not on the grid.
Okay, so two things are messed up. So it could be one of three things. One, your website is wacky. I haven't looked at your website. I don't know who you are. Your website is wacky and it's not optimized. It may be optimized for something else. Who knows? So you need to look at your website. You need to look at your GMB and make sure you have the proper categories. You need to look at your reviews and see if people are mentioning your keyword. You could have 1,900 reviews that say you're great.
So
That's not gonna help.
we outrank for the garage door company. We outrank in Tempe, Arizona, in Phoenix, a couple, like in the whole Maricopa County in Arizona. We outrank few of the businesses that have thousands of, and we only have, I think, like less than 200. The way we were able to like win that, area, it was a lot of on page. It was a lot of on page there. So you just need to find more ways to make Google understand that you are relevant for that area, and kind of look into your homepage, your links, whatever is related to your business. What can I do to give Google another hint that I'm more relevant than the other guy? And that's kind of like what you need to look
Correct.
for.
Your website's wacky. I just looked at your website. It's all whacked out. Smith and Jane Dentist. It's whacked. It's all whacked. That's one of the reasons.
Okay, how do I fix that?
Watch Eldar's videos. He creates videos on how to do that.
Because you always get people who are hello.
Yes, we're listening.
Yeah, you always get people who come and say, "Oh, we're going to fix it," and I've been through this journey.
You're not good at hiring people. Yeah.
Yes,
you're not good at hiring people.
I only know dentistry. I don't know this, so maybe you're right.
Correct. So you're going to the right person. So you're going to the right person. Eldar can help you.
Reach out to me after the
Eldar refused to help me. Eldar refused to help me because I'm in Hong Kong. I did ask him.
I remember you reached out, but you have local dominator. I remember
Yes.
Reach out to me.
So
I'll share some content.
Okay.
Brett is talking about the content and videos. I never shared any of those with you.
Yeah,
you do have a lot of webinars.
Because
People they don't know they have access to it. Sorry, what was that?
Because what happens is every guy who comes in says, he'll do it and he'll fix it, and then I have to learn by myself. So now we are changing to WordPress because I've been told that that's kind of more responsive, and we haven't made it online yet, but it's almost done. But that's my problem, right? You meet one person, he tells you something, you do it, then you meet the second, then you meet the third. You really don't know.
Arian, are you married?
Yes.
How many girls did you have to date before you got married?
Well, I'm Indian, so I had arranged marriage.
Okay. All right. So number 0 in the US, right? In the US, you have to go through, sometimes you have to go on 15, 20, 25, 30 dates before you find the person that you married. So you don't say, "Hey, I dated 30 girls and they were all bad. What are you going to do for me?" Right? You go.
But Brett, you just said that if somebody has fired 5 people for SEO, you won't take them.
Correct.
So then where is the?
Well, I'm saying your attitude towards hiring people. I'm not saying my attitude. That's why I told you go to Eldar. I didn't say come to me.
Yes.
That's why I pushed you off on Eldar.
Eldar, you are my date now.
You're a good sport. You're a good sport, Arian. You're a good sport. You're a good fella.
All right. I want to take like 3 more minutes and wrap up.
Why? Let's keep going.
Because I have to keep it short and to the point with a flavor of more.
Okay.
So there's one thing I see Ortal didn't pose the question, but she was asking me quite a few, so I want to address her question I already know, and then we have Joseph taking a minute. So Ortal was asking, and Ortal, if you can please jump in and refine your question, it will be best. But she was asking a lot on the differences when you're trying to rank a client of the keyword with the difference of the keyword modifier. So for example, we are in a plumber theme. So a plumber versus plumber Phoenix. And the thing is, when you are looking just at the keyword itself, the naked keyword, the plumber as is, the proximity algo will kick in. So there's more limits on your geofencing on how far you can rank that plumber as a standalone keyword. When you add the modifier, that modifier in Google terms, it's not necessarily a location, but you're getting ranked for that phrase. And that phrase can be a lot bigger than just that one proximity. So when she was asking me, she was kind of like asking what she should supposed to do. What I like to do is I like to look at both of them, because you want to start with your keyword with modifier. You want to get it as big as you can, and you want to get your naked keyword getting as closer as you can. Usually, you're kind of going to max around 8 to 10 miles from the business. Really depends on the metro that you're at, the type of business. But if it's a plumber, Google is not going to show you, it's not going to show your listing for the keyword plumber if you're 15 miles away, because it's just against the algo, but it will show it for plumber Phoenix. So I hope that kind of answered that. Let's look and see what Joseph says here. Just claimed a second location for a client and got it verified with a phone call. That's pretty cool. Should I basically repeat the original location content? Right. So the Starbucks approach and the Starbucks way, you kind of want it to be the same. The phone number should be phone number should be unique. Phone number should be unique. The name should be uniform and identify as the name of the original location. Your description should be similar, but changed with the town or the different things to reflect that. Most of the things will be the same. The one thing that is super important is the URL that you're going to use. You don't really want to send everybody to the homepage. You do want to create a designated location page for that particular area. Your full page can serve for one location, but if you have, let's say, 5 locations, one will be the homepage. The rest of the 4 will have designated pages, and that's how you should structure it. That's the fastest that I found.
So I agree with you there. I would just do the homepage as depending on if all 5 locations are located in Arizona, I may say Arizona, but if they're in different cities, I would not structure the homepage with any location. So I think we're saying
you'll do a general.
Just like Starbucks. It's made in Seattle, but there's no Seattle on Starbucks homepage.
So I'll share why I've been doing that. So recently, I've done a couple of changes and did a couple tests and stuff. What we found is that, if your homepage is general, just about your trades, again, like just a plumber and it's not a city specific. Technically it's more true. Like it's the right way to do it. However, the homepage has the most amount of strength, right? The most amount of authority. So we kind of like to use that, and we get that really quick win when we kind of attach that to a specific location. It does have a lot of pros and cons. If this was a big franchise, I don't think it's going to fly. But if it's a plumber and their entire locations are within the city limits,
you could say New York City, you could say Tampa or something.
Exactly. So you can say New York City and surrounding, and you'll fly better. So
can I have a quick follow-up? So it's a roofer. They've had the same location for like 30 years, and they have a new location about 15 miles away. And so so I hear you on that. I definitely need to get them to put a new number in there. Does it matter if it's like a Google Voice number or it just has to be a unique number, telephone number?
It has to be unique. Let's talk a little bit about phones. It's super important for you to have the ability to measure the amount and quality of the phones. If it's a Google phone, it's not really scalable. You also want to look at scalable options. So CallRail, Watts Convert, Go High Level if you want to add some margin. And you want to have the ability to scale it and also better control and more tools that are better for you and for your client. So I wouldn't go for a free service like Google Voice. I would make the client like go with CallRail or What's Convert or Go High Level.
And Joseph, one other thing I would do, Joseph, real important. You want to make sure that Tom's Pizzeria didn't own that phone number for 20 years. So whatever, right? And now you're trying to use it for a roofer. Right.
Yeah.
So whatever number you get, make sure you make, and it's the same thing with domain names. Go to the Wayback Machine and see if anybody used that. If that was a Chinese Viagra site and now you're trying to rank it for T&J Roofer, you're never going to rank it. Right. So the same thing, you put the phone number in Google and make sure it's a clean number. Because if it was Tom's Pizza and when that phone number is associated with Tom's Pizza, you got to outdo all those 20 years of orders of Tom's Pizza to get it recognized now as a roofer.
And so this is more of a showroom site, so they do make appointments there. It's not staffed all the time. So the number could be routed to their main location and answered there. It just has to be a unique number, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure
Yeah,
it's
but
unique
they're
number.
also, they have a third location, which is across the line. I'm in Maryland. It's just across the border in Pennsylvania. So it would cover basically the top of the county, the middle of the county, and the bottom.
I don't know. Do you run grids?
I haven't lately on this. Yeah.
So then you don't know how far it's going to reach.
How far it's going to reach. So basically number, I haven't created, I'm trying to get the client to add more content to their website. I just sent them a 26-page document of new content.
Right.
One of a good chunk of that is location pages because they don't have location pages. So.
What are they roofers or
roofers.
content writers?
Roofers.
So why are you giving them that assignment? Why are you making
No, I gave them content to review.
Oh, to review. Okay.
To review and say, because they're very conservative. So
Okay.
once I get the location pages created, then I can tie the profile to the specific location landing page.
You have to create a location page for each location. Make sure you take the original GMB map that you had in the footer and remove it out of the footer. If you had it in the footer, take it out of the footer. If you have more than one location.
Yeah, that's
Put a new map in each page.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And if your homepage, by the way, is not city specific, you can take all of them and put it on the homepage if it's not a location specific.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's not that specific. Okay. Good. Thanks.
One of the things that my mentor used to tell me, and this is a popular saying, but Joseph, you just said something that kind of reminded me of it, right? We do SEO. We don't do guessio. Right. We don't guess. Well, he's probably ranking in Pennsylvania too. So now I'm going to do blank because he's probably right. You got to check that out.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
And the only way to check it out is using Eldar's tool. Check it out. See if the competition is ranking out in Pennsylvania, because I guarantee you, I could almost guarantee you the geofence.
It's in the middle of nowhere. So my guess is that it wouldn't be hard.
Maybe
below Harrisburg and York, PA. So there's not a lot out there.
Probably. You're probably right.
Check.
But we don't do SEO.
No, yeah. And he just sprung that location on me, so it's new. So I have to go out and check it.
It's not your fault.
So I want to wrap up with the last question here from Anil. Did you create franchisees GMBs with new emails? So the rule of thumb and the proper way to handle multi-location is to have everything under the same email and not to break it down into multiple emails. Everything should be managed into one email. There is no problem with that. And it's the right way to do it. If you will start breaking it down, what you're actually going to do, you're going to create a bigger problem if you're going to have a problem, because now it's completely separate and it's going to be a lot harder to bring back in case they get suspended or things of that sort. Everything should be under the same email, should be under the same exact name, different phone numbers, different description to reflect the area, and different URLs for the web page. These are super, super important. By the way, if you are going to create two identical GMBs, different places, the same name, the same phone number, the same URL, let's say one in Dallas and one in Houston, Google might think it's a duplicate and will merge them together. So it's super important that your phone number and your URL is unique, okay? If you are going to have it identical, you are getting it at a risk of merged, which I've seen a lot, by the way.
Good stuff.
All right. Cool. Let's see if there's another question. All right, I'll go through it. All right, I want to wrap up for today. So I want to thank I want to thank everybody that participate, and thank you special for Bret that put in the time and helped to answer the questions.
My pleasure.
Kind of share all of his knowledge, and I really, thank you, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that has joined today. It's my pleasure to have you here and help you, and see you guys in the group. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the group. All right,
Guys, great job. Thank you for asking such questions. Arian, thank you very much. You were a good sport with me. I appreciate you talking with me like that. And guys, please always remember, we sat here for an hour and a half. Get up there, help your wife, right? Help the people that you love. Be good to your family, and we'll see you tomorrow.
thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Good.